Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday. I'm Sarah Duran. I'm a reporter here at KENS 5. I'm also a fill-in traffic anchor. I'm going to give you guys a few seconds to fill in on here on our Facebook. That way I can tell you what's happening around our roads right now. All right, I see a few of you are starting to join. Thank you so much for joining us here on Facebook. I don't pop up here a lot, but due to the conditions around town this morning, we felt that it was important to share with you what is happening. We've had a very busy morning. I think those storms came in about 4:15. So we've been on air for quite some time telling you about the different situations around town. Traffic has been just chaotic this morning. There's no simple way to put it other than that. If you're heading out this morning, much of the rain it looks like is out of the area, but we still have that water lingering on our roads right now. So please proceed with caution. Of course, if you see a flooded roadway, turn around, don't drown. All week long, we have seen just numerous examples of people not driving with caution, entering those high water zones and getting stuck. In fact, this morning we had two vehicles stuck along I-35, the lower level at San Pedro. That area actually is still blocked off to drivers, and that should be popping up on our TransGuide camera here in a bit. Before I continue with that as well, I want to talk about this. This is a live look at what's happening across town on TransGuide. You can see we still have a lot of congestion across town, depending on where you're at. And this could be a combination of things, right? It may not always be weather, what you're looking at here, but it certainly doesn't help. We are getting reports of construction in the area. Look, we have an accident 35 at Loop 410. Let me see if I have those details for you so we can talk about that. I-35, yes, I can confirm that there is an accident there in the area. It looks like traffic was still able to get by, but very slowly. Our first responders have been hard at work this morning trying to get people out of their stuck car or just trying to handle accidents. So if you see them out there on the roads, please proceed with caution. Give them space to clear out as they continue to work hard and clear these scenes for us. But again, 90 at Leon Creek, this is a fabulous example of just how fast that water can collect on our roads. This area of town, the west side, has been closed down to drivers on the frontage road for the last 3 to 4 days. On Tuesday, I believe we saw some heavy rain, and we had an 18-wheeler stuck on one side closer to the baseball stadium, and then we realized later that there was a vehicle stuck on the other side. So it took them several hours to tow out those vehicles, and since then, TxDOT has just kept that area closed off to drivers. They barricaded it off, and due to the rains that we saw earlier this morning, that's just going to be the case for now. And I do expect those barricades to remain for some time. Let's take another live look, see 35 and 410 again. It looks like we have first responders there on the scene, an ambulance, San Antonio Fire. We hope everybody is okay. Let's see, 35 at Martin. It looks like drivers are having to go on the upper level, stay on the upper level because the lower level is still closed off right now. If you're just joining us here on KENS 5, the Facebook page, welcome in, guys. Have lots of updates for you. As far as traffic goes, we decided to come on here because we felt that it was important to keep you updated. We may not be on the air, but we want to keep you updated here online. If you traveled through the downtown area, specifically in the areas of San Pedro and Main Avenue, that's not too far from San Antonio College, the lower level of I-35 is currently closed off due to flooding. I've been keeping an eye on our TransGuide camera, and I'm not seeing the shot anymore. But about, let's say, like 5:30 this morning, that area in both directions flooded. Crazy stuff, crazy visual we had there. And unfortunately, we got two vehicles stuck in that water. And at last check, they were still there. So I believe that they're working to tow those guys out. But that area of I-35, the lower level in both directions at San Pedro, it's not drivable right now. We also have a really crazy delay on the city's northeast side, I-35, southbound at Evans Road. This is as you're heading into San Antonio. We have an hour delay in this part of town due to an accident in the construction zone. So if you were with us about 7:25, I mentioned that there was a 2-hour delay. We have been seeing this area fluctuate with delays due to construction reported in the area. Of course, the weather certainly doesn't help. A lot of you are going much slower today, and now we have an accident. So again, that's going to be I-35 southbound at Evans Road. We have stop and go traffic reported from Angle Road or exit 182. Going down a little bit further, we do have an accident reported at Loop 1604 northbound at Culebra. Details are limited, but we do have stop and go traffic from Petranco. We have another area closed off due to flooding. I haven't touched on this one quite yet. This is going to be 1604, the Access Road southbound between Alamo Ranch and Military Drive West. So avoid that area. Another one, this is one that we talked about quite heavy on our show this morning. This is off the highway on the city's northeast side along I-35, Lookout Road in both directions between Old O'Connor Road and Judson Road. This area is blocked off due to some flooding. About, let's say, 6 a.m., we got reports of water rescues happening in the area, so we sent our crew out there and they were able to collect some details for us. They tell us that 2 vehicles got stuck in the water there. Both of their drivers were able to get out. San Antonio firefighters got to the scene and were able to rescue those 2 drivers, and we are told they are safe, they are fine. As far as their vehicles go, I don't know if they're still there, but I was told that the water is still collecting in that area, so it is barricaded off. But one observation our reporter made was even though there were barricades up, people were still going around them. If you see those barricades, folks, don't do that. That's illegal, and you will get in trouble if you're caught. So just a crazy situation over there. Glad that everybody is safe, but of course, don't go around the barricades if they're still up. We have another accident, West Side Loop 410. Take a look at this one further. At West Military Drive, that's blocking the right shoulder. And that looks to be about it for now. We do have a flash flood warning up until 10 o'clock, so it's 9:26 right now as I'm coming to you live on Facebook. What has been interesting about this, it has only extended throughout the morning hours. So I think at one point it was up until 5 a.m. and then it extended until 8:45, and then right before 9 o'clock or 8:30, it extended again until 10 a.m. So clearly the rain that came through overnight was pretty heavy, and the Weather Service just felt that it was necessary to enforce a flash flood warning up until 10 a.m. So Paul was closely watching that. He still is. And of course, he'll have those updates for you coming up at noon today. All right, let's see what's happening around town on our TransGuide camera. 37 and 410 running very smoothly this morning. 35 at Flores is still blocked off. You can see that water there. There we go. I didn't make the connection there. So that is actually a look of that area of San Pedro. You can see that the water goes onto the other side of the highway. So both directions, again, blocked off to drivers. Just a gnarly situation out there. And what is interesting, and I want to share with you something, I met with TxDOT earlier this week and I asked them about these areas where we're seeing a lot of flooding since we had a lot of that this week. And they told me that they do have drains along these highways to help in situations like this. They do annual cleanings. They also do monthly maintenance. However, sometimes if debris is the problem, sometimes the debris just comes into those drains with that rain coming through as fast as it has been, and it just gets stuck. So they have to call out the TxDOT heroes. That's what they're called. They are also heroes in real life, but we get those TxDOT crews out there and they have to go in and clog them themselves. So sometimes it's just a matter of debris flooding those drains. And that's some of the reasons why we've seen that flooding over the last few days. So if you see those TxDOT crews, that's likely what they're doing out there. Another live look again on TransGuide. 410 at Marbach looking good. 410 at Broadway. We had some crews over there. Again, 35 at Flores. The lower level blocked off to drivers right now. You can't go through there. The good news is it looks like the rain is finally getting out of the area. It's Friday. Who wants to spend a day under the clouds? I want to see some sunshine, especially after this week. We definitely got a lot of rain and we needed it, but it did not help out our drivers get to work or school safely. I will say I don't think any kids are in school anymore, so at least that is a silver lining for this morning. Just lots of folks trying to get to work or maybe summer camp. Let's see, the time is now 9:28 on Friday. If you're joining us here on KENS 5, I would just want to reintroduce myself. It looks like we have a number of you now joining us. My name is Sarah Duran. I'm a reporter here at KENS 5. I also fill in on our traffic desk. This morning was very busy. If you were joining us between 5 and 7 a.m., you noticed that between Paul and I, we were talking about the weather pretty nonstop. The rain came in about 4:15 when I was anchoring our 4:30 show. I could hear it pounding on our roof. I don't think you can make it out on TV, but it does come through a little bit when you're in the studio. So instantly, once I heard that rain coming through, I was starting to get concerned because I wasn't sure how that was going to impact our drivers. And in the 5 o'clock hour, it just took off, unfortunately. I think about 5:30, perhaps, we started seeing some flooding. Significant flooding, that is, especially in the downtown area. If you were with us moments ago, I was talking about I-35, especially that lower level. We are still seeing water on the roads. It looks like it's taking quite some time to drain. We've also had some accidents along I-35. That has been the big talker this morning. You guys know I-35 is a trouble spot pretty often, but as far as flooding is concerned, that lower level between San Pedro and Main Avenue, both directions by San Antonio College, just a mess with that water on the road. So that area is still blocked off to drivers. It looks like they cleared out the vehicles that got stuck there earlier this morning. But while that water continues to drain out, that's going to be closed off to you guys. So you're gonna have to stay on the upper level. Another major trouble spot for us right now is going to be on the city's northeast side, I-35 southbound at Evans Road. This is looking like an hour delay. So if you're driving into San Antonio, you use I-35, take an alternate route or see if you can delay wherever you need to get going, because we're seeing some heavy delays. About an hour ago, it was a 2-hour delay, something crazy. And at that time, there was no accident reported. It was just various construction zones and possibly the weather slowing our drivers down. But now there was an accident in the construction zone at Evans. So we got some stop and go traffic from Angle Road reported. 66 minutes on the clock. You can do a lot in that time, but you'll be sitting in traffic if you go down I-35. Let's see, it looks like we just got a new accident, I-35 northbound after Walsham Road. This is not too far from the Windcrest area, another very busy spot, heavily traveled. This is blocking the center left lane, and you got stop and go traffic reported from Eisenhower. Let's see, let's go down the list really quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have a total of 5 accidents being reported right now. Very busy for our first responders. If you see them out, folks, please be careful. Give them space to work. Do not drive by them fast. They are trying to clear out these accidents safely, so please drive slowly. And of course, we still have water on our road, so just drive safely and slowly in general. Let's see. Take another look at our trans guy. That 35 at Florida shot, I just can't get over. The water is just collecting there. 35 at Alamo, just crazy. If you notice on the left-hand side, there are construction crews there. That's part of some long-term construction that's happening in the area. So that has some parts of the highway blocked off. Let's see. 35 at 410, still got that accident working. That's blocking off a few lanes. 35 at St. Mary's, that lower level blocked off. We got some rain droplets on our camera as well. Just very, very busy. 410 at Babcock, looking pretty good. Alrighty guys, I think it's time to wrap up, but that's a look at what we're seeing across San Antonio right now. Again, if you were heading out this morning, please be careful. We repeat the saying all the time, turn around, don't drown. We mean it, because we certainly don't want to report on your car stuck in the water. Again, numerous accidents working right now, flooding in certain areas of town. For the latest updates, you can watch us here on KENS 5 at noon. We also have a YouTube page as well as KENS 5 Plus. We always talk about that, so be sure to join us there for the very latest on what's happening across town this morning. All right, Sarah Duran, I'll see you later.